Ilya Bratman saw this firsthand, and no less while serving the United States Army in Korea. Ilya joins us now. Thanks so much for being with us. Now, your story is pretty incredible. You were an Army sergeant. You served tours in Korea, in Germany, in Iraq. What exactly did you experience as a Jewish soldier serving your nation, the United States?
Thank you so much, Narit, and thank you, Sasha, for inviting me. I'm so blessed to be here to speak about this. And I'm so thankful to the IHRA definitions, which will strengthen our ability to combat anti-Semitism, especially on campuses worldwide, and especially in the United States, where, as you have seen, anti-Semitism has grown significantly. I had, as you said, the privilege to serve in the United States military. And when I was in Korea, I had a very particular experience and while serving amongst my peers who come from the variety of New York and variety of the United States. So I was serving on guard duty on the border of South and North Korea. And there I was sitting just with one other gentleman who was from one of the southern states, white soldier, and he knew that I was the only Jewish soldier in our battalion. Battalion of 540 soldiers, I was the only Jewish soldier. I made sure that it was known. It was a very big part of my identity at the time as a Russian immigrant and as a Jew. It was such an important part of who I was. And I would make sure that they knew that. And there we were sitting by a stove that was burning and warming us up as we were in the winter at the border of South and North Korea. And he looked at the fire inside this little oven, and he said, "You know what this fire reminds me of?" I said, "I don't know." He said, 20,000 Jews burning in it. And I'll never forget that moment when I realized, I could have responded with incredible anger and aggression. But I realized the amount of disinformation and lack of knowledge that this young man has had. And I proceeded to explain to him the idea of the Holocaust, which he knew very little about, and to hear his story. And he grew up in South Carolina, where his grandfather was one of the members of the KKK, and where he was taught that the Jewish people could not be trusted, that the Jewish people were part of a secondary identity, that the Jewish people wanted to represent something else and had always a second home or another place that they really represented.
This notion of double loyalty that we're talking about.
Right, exactly, that they especially couldn't be trusted in the military. And if he saw Jewish people in the military, that he couldn't trust them because not only Israel, but there was something other, clandestine, shadowy, some kind of second identity that they, as Jewish people, would purport to. And he believed that wholeheartedly. He even at times, he said when he was a young man, he believed that the Jewish people had horns and the Jewish people were some kind of a beast of a nation that could not be trusted, that they had allegiance to something else, something clandestine and dark. And he couldn't believe that there was a man serving next to him in the same uniform, in the same way as he did. And this whole experience showed him an incredible light to what the truth was, that the Jewish people. Yes.
Well, I mean, that moment, I think your teaching moment back then during the war is really a teaching moment for all of us and for everyone watching. And it takes a lot of strength as well to be confronted with that kind of thing as a Jewish soldier, a U.S. soldier no less, fighting for his country, to take that time and to realize that it's a lot of times simple ignorance. It's a lack of education. It's somebody who's never actually met a Jewish person before or another minority before. So a really important takeaway from your story to actually try to teach, to try to educate, and not just, get angry.